Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in again. If you're on YouTube or Twitch, whichever one you've come to watch me on, thank you very much. If you don't know me, my name's StayWeird1993 or StayWeird1993 Vlogs on YouTube. You may know me from my Instagram tag, you might know me from Twitch, wherever you're watching me and whatever time of day you're watching me. Welcome back again. During self-isolation, we've been doing these casual streams daily, twice a day. And while I'm at home and not able to go to work, I'm going to be able to stick to 2 a day as a routine. However, that will go down to 1 a day when I'm be able to go back to work. If you joined in last night, then you'll know that we were here, is where we left off. At the Warport Ristari, on this quest line is where we finished. We're just going to carry on questing casually through there. The object for this is, while we've got the experience boost, is to get this character to max level, start grinding out some content, get some gear, as I'm intending to take this into Shadowlands and be better at a protection warrior by then, so we shall see how far we get with that. Hope everybody's keeping up okay in their daily lives themselves. God knows the world's a little crazy right now still.
I had hoped for a greater challenge. I must get closer.
See, I remember at the start of PFA, I probably did these quests, but I've totally forgotten the storylines, except for the basic points. So it's interesting for me to redo these and actually pay attention to what's going on for the sake of anyone viewing. Apologies to anybody who was watching the stream last night who wanted to rewatch any of it on YouTube, by the way. I lost the second half of that recording due to some error with my software. So if you hear me go quiet, it's me checking that my Streamlabs is actually doing screen capture as well as streaming. It wasn't recording the latter half of the stream, which is fine because not much happened other than a bit of questing. And a crying child. But, you know, nonetheless...
I require a target. Your king's end comes.
I envy you, witnessing the birth of a new Troy Empire first.
I still think the Mogu would make a really good allied race. I mean, how they'd implement it, I'm not entirely sure, but still, I think they'd be a good allied race. They'd be cool. I'd play as one. They'd probably run like a shaman or a, maybe a hunter? I don't know. Sorry, just adjusting my computer's on a stand, you see, so I'm just manipulating the screen to where I want it to be. Because I got funny eyes, I get migraines if I don't have things at certain angles. Says the dude who's been playing World of Warcraft most of his life. I wonder what caused those migraines. Probably continuous gaming and not paying attention to people who told me to wear my damn glasses. Somewhere along the lines there, something like that's happened probably. At least today, you guys don't have the horrific glare behind me. Well, there is some glare still, but anyone who tuned in yesterday or can find yesterday's afternoon stream video on YouTube, basically the sun was coming in so intensely there was nothing I could do, as we don't have any Velux blinds set up on this window yet. And this is my streaming setup. I mean, otherwise it's in my living room, which is not exactly the most professional setup in the world. So, whereas here, albeit not professional, I've got my own desk, I've got a little table, I've got stuff I can do here, so... Anyway, let's carry on, I'm detracting.
Name your lord, so I may name mine. No, I've got you.
I need to speak with iTrig. E-Trig, iTrig. Don't crucify me for pronouncing it differently. Afternoon, Lewis. Or Battlefield 3.
How good?
guys are all doing okay.
You should have listened to Jelanji.
You see, when I said I didn't trust Zul the other night, this is exactly why. I mean, I knew he wasn't a good guy, but I mean, come on.
Our kingdom
You just
rot
wouldn't trust a guy who looks like this.
But I have
He looks
foreseen
evil.
The Troll Empire rising again. No more treaties with outsiders. No more bargains with Loa. Blood is our path now. The path of Gahoon.
The thing is, the dude looks evil. You just wouldn't trust someone like Zul. I mean,
Should we go after them?
simply put, Rastakhan's an idiot.
No. In time, they will come to us.
Also, did anyone else notice that he was just floating underneath the Scarbeak creatures, these guys? He wasn't actually being carried, he was just kind of Don't know why that bothered me so much. It's just something that throws you off visually, I suppose. I'm not going to Voldoom.
May the Earth Mother smile upon me.
He's got any better traits than the ones I currently have, or? Yeah, this is pretty decent. I mean, a lot of this is personal preference, especially on leveling gear.
We serve as caretakers of this world.
What does Noctal want me to do? Village of the Vines.
Do you need protection? Ichuka Zandala.
Okay, so that's something to do with Kajamite, which is I know to do with the goblins. I think. Wow, look at this guy. This transmog looks awesome. Sick. I do love what they did with this city. I really do. Do I go for Terrace of the Chosen? Or do I continue with this one here, the Wounded King? I'll go with the Wounded King. Because I'm pretty sure that's the main storyline here.
I am listening.
Is that the closest I can get? Actually, no, that would be. Yeah, I'll fly to Zul'Jan and then ride from there. This is to do with Terrace of the Chosen, so I don't exactly know what this quest is. I'm trying to think, who is this? So this is... So that does follow the main storyline, kind of. That is not a side quest. So once we've done the Injured King stuff, what we'll do is we'll then go back and do the Terrace of the Chosen. I don't know whether that's the actual correct timeline. As I say, I don't really remember this quest zone that well. It's been a long time. I mean, BFA's been out for a little while now. I say a little while. I'm just this way. The thing is, I took a break with this expansion because I got burnt out because I was just playing the same old characters again. So I came back once I'd got a work schedule that meant I could play. And then basically I just decided to level something different. Something entirely different, because I didn't want to level something that I'd already done. And yes, I'd already leveled a warrior, but I had not leveled a protection warrior, and I really enjoyed tanking, and then fell out of love with it because I just stopped being interested in it, probably because I took up a new tanking spec for Legion, the Vengeance Demon Hunter, and I didn't really... It was fun, but it was gimmicky. I suppose the definition of a class is a gimmick. What's its gimmick? What are the nuances? But I like the Protection Warrior. Just sword and board, kick some ass, basically, and just be an actual force of nature, effectively. So, that's cool. I just wasn't enjoying the way that my class was playing when I was playing tank at the time, and I'd been playing Protection Paladin for several expansions, which was fun, but I felt like I'd played too much of it. And this is similar but not the same. It's just different enough for it to pique my interest, but also not different enough that I don't understand the basic philosophies of tanking. These guys gonna... Yeah, they're going away. That's fine. I wanted this deposit. Still leveling my professions. Just because I've never really done it. Again, this is something I haven't really paid much attention to, except for maybe on my first characters during the first couple of expansions. I did level professions. I did jewel crafting, and I did herbalism and alchemy, I believe, on different characters. But again, something that I have not done. It's not really paid much attention to because I didn't think I particularly care for it. And I've found that I'm actually enjoying leveling professions as well, because it gives me something else to do. If I don't feel like leveling, I can just literally go out and farm materials for blacksmithing and mining. Farm some mining nodes, take my flying mount out around Kalimdor, Eastern Kingdoms, wherever. Go collect some ores and stuff, and then go back to Orgrimmar, make some cool stuff and sell it on the auction house. I mean, I'm not hit. It's just stuff that I hadn't really thought about doing. Again, and what better time when we've got all this time? I set aside about an hour and a half a stream, I would say, unless something extraneous happens where I get more time, just to do whatever I feel like in the game. And sometimes, as stupid as it may sound, it is just appreciating the environments in the game. I will just sometimes go to places that I like the look of and just look around. I found I was doing that a lot in Destiny 2, when I played Destiny 2. Mainly because I just think Bungie are so great at crafting environments, and skyboxes in particular, that are just amazing. And in terms of their artistry, somebody who works in the creative industry freelance, myself, so someone like myself who does graphic design, I do appreciate the finer elements of environment and level design, because I think that this is how you set a mood. The color palettes, the music, even down to the placement of things, the terrain. You can't create an engaging and fun experience, especially in an MMO with such a sandbox open world game, if the environment doesn't speak. Oh, that's right, Lewis. Yeah. The Witcher 3, incredible, incredible RPG game, great role-playing mechanics, great combat. There was nothing actually I didn't enjoy about that game. Not one thing. I think that the whole experience was just fantastic. that might be something that I download and stream as well, Witcher 3. I might just want to play through the Wild Hunt again, to be honest. It was such a good game. Especially after watching the TV series as well, which was a masterpiece. But, it's great. I heard a metal cover of Toss a Coin to Your Witcher, and it's like, it's gone straight onto my playlist. And it's, yeah, The Witcher 3 is one of those games where the environments and the story and the elements of the world where you just appreciate them because somebody's put a lot of effort into that. And so you'd be interested in The Witcher. Yeah, I mean, I can probably pick it up for relatively cheap on PC nowadays. That might be something I look into. 'Cause I can probably get get it on Steam, probably, I imagine, or something. That'd be fun. I mean, I've not played The Witcher in such a long time. I'd probably be like absolutely god awful at the game because it's been a good few years.
I am listening.
Christ, it's a Volpira.
By Rastakan's
Disgusting.
Dichuka Sandala.
I apologize. I do have this on my phone on alert because we have a delivery coming today from Amazon Prime.
You want something?
I do feel very sorry for the Prime workers that are actually willing to deliver my crap. It's like I have literally ordered a huge bag of rice and beer because we have no rice and my toddler loves rice, and I needed some more beer because I wanted some of the Motorhead Road Crew Ale, and they got it. So I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna get some bottles of that.
Step closer and don't mumble.
I'm pretty sure I'll stop hating on the Volpira eventually, but every time I see one at the minute, all I can think is in the exact voice of disgust. Then this is an uwu free zone, so we won't have that. That's not to discriminate in any way. I'm just saying, do not uwu in this chat. But on that topic, Lewis, I definitely, The Witcher is on my list. It's not something that I've not played it in so long that it would feel like I was playing it fresh, probably because I don't remember much of the game. I remember having an amazing time, but the finer points of the game I don't remember too much of. And that's probably the best, because that means when I play through it again, I'm going to just have these, I remember that, but it's going to feel like I'm doing it for the first time.
Too far away.
A couple of games I do want to check out as well is, people have tried to deter me against it, but The Sinking City as well, which is based off the Call of Cthulhu, which was also Call of Cthulhu's game. People said they're disappointing games, but I am a H.P. Lovecraft fan through and through, and I feel like I'd be letting myself down if I did not at least give it a try. Alternatively, as well, there is there's another game coming out. I believe it's to do with space, and it's Lovecraft inspired. It's very The Thing, very Mountains of Madness. Outer entities on a space station in a planet. It's coming out, I think it's a PS4 exclusive, but either way, I saw the trailer the other day. I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna throw my money at the screen when that comes out. It's like I was throwing my money at the screen at the time and nothing happened, so I'm hoping that changes. You know, I can't exactly go out to a game store and buy it, so I'm stuck with throwing my money at virtual purchases, which feels weird because even though I know I'm buying something that I can play, it feels like I haven't actually got anything for my money because there's nothing physical. Maybe I'm a crazy person, but that's literally how my brain works. I'm like, I paid money for something that I can't physically see, but then I pay a subscription to Warcraft every month and have for as long as I can remember, so I love how, as well, with the Zandalari Druids, they used this model for the tank form. I absolutely love the Zandalari Moonkin form as well, which is basically, if anyone's seen Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge, Mega Ultra Chicken, basically. It's not an owlkin, it's literally like a bipedal, pterodactyl, weird-ass, crazy. It's great, it looks great, but at the same time I'm like, what? Like, they put so much effort into the druid forms. and I think that was really impressive. It's like with the High Mountain. I mean, they're cool, but they just added horns. They just added bigger horns to the Tauren Druid forms, which makes sense, I guess. But it'd have been nice to see a little more evolution on those forms, just give them some unique feels. The Kultirans are another great example, especially the whole. See, I don't play Alliance, otherwise I'd be well, don't really play Alliance. I've got a couple of Alliance characters. I don't play enough to justify it, but I would want to go and unlock the Kultirans just so I could play as the kind of weird, the Wicca sort of Harvest Witch pagan style druid forms, which are based off the Drust from this game. If you look at the Drustvar Drust and Tordagol, it's really interesting. But yeah, I definitely think that giving The Witcher another play on live stream will be interesting, as well as some other RPG games. But I'd say this is my main thing, so that would just be something I do on the side. I'd say I used to just, before I got into RPG, well, Warcraft was always an exception, but I spent a long time just playing shooters as well. To the point where I'm really burnt out on shooter gameplay, because I've not played a shooter that feels like it's changed the game. But then that said, Doom Eternal looks great as well. I love the look of Doom Eternal and probably will get that. Mainly just because I love the aesthetic of the game, the music, everything. It's Doom. And it feels like they've actually put the effort in not to just cash in on the Doom franchise. They've made a game that feels like Doom, but modern. Well, yeah, Lewis, like I say, it looks like a beast of the game. I've been watching a couple of people play through it. I've watched some streamers play through it. Someone I follow on Instagram, she's done a playthrough of it. I've watched that. I watched Jacksepticeye playing it as well. It's interesting, and honestly, I've watched the gameplay. It looks hella fun. Like, that would be something I would definitely stream. It's just, of course, at the moment, with the work situation, I'm being semi-careful with my money because I don't know exactly how pay is going to work out, whether the working from home is going to be a continuation or there's going to be a gap. So until I know the direct situation of what's going to happen with my with the outbreak and the finances, I want to just hold off on making any sizable purchases aside from the essentials like food, and beer is an essential. Fight me if you disagree. But, you know, it's like, Doom, I think I could pass Doom off as an essential. If I argued enough. We'll see. But Doom, definitely. It's on my list. It's on my list. And it's, I want to replay The Witcher. I want to get Doom. There's the new game that I can't remember the name of because brain like a sieve. I don't even know. I forgot what day it was until about halfway through the morning. So it just, the thing is, in isolation or quarantine, whatever you want to call it, at the point where we're doing this social distancing crap, while it's saving lives, all the days are blurring into one. It's like I just notice that it's dark sometimes. Like even my kids, like their body clock is completely off. Like Beatrice thought it was time to wake up at 4:30 this morning, hence why I've got the Monster Energy on the go. I mean, I had that yesterday, but I am addicted to this stuff, but hence why I've got this. It's going to rot my insides, but I need it to keep functioning, otherwise I might actually keel over and die by 4 PM. But there will be an eating stream as well. Probably a similar length. Once I've made dinner and got the kids to bed. Because one thing I'm taking advantage of is that I do really enjoy cooking. Like cooking from scratch. And while I'm not going into work and we're all at home, I'm taking advantage of the fact I can do these things rather than having to make something like slapdash when I get home because I'm tired. Even though I don't work late, sometimes I just cannot be bothered. But I can make stuff with fresh ingredients and stuff now, which is so the slow cooker's been brought out for curries and stuff. It's been great, but not sure how good that's going to be for my waistline. But according to the scale, it's not bad at all, but we'll see by the end of it, but based on my beer consumption. I feel like the only thing keeping me sane throughout this isolation and stuff is beer and being able to have some kind of streaming routine. But, you know, I'm hoping as well that, as I say, if this gets passed around and people check it out, that I'm going to be the background noise for people. Might help keep them sane too. Because God knows being cooped up in the house for too long is maddening, but it's either stay in my house or risk my family's health. I think I'm going to stick in my house. But if we all stick to it, this could all be over by the summer. Which is why I'm glad that hadn't got anything major planned till sort of the end of June onwards. It means that, you know, if we all behave ourselves and get our together, we could have this under control in some way, shape or form, hopefully. I mean, by June, May. I mean, like, realistically, if we just all do what we need to do, this could all be over sooner than we think. And I think it's just... I saw a video last night which makes me think what kind of people live in the city I'm from. Because there was just... I'm thinking, right, so social distancing, travel in groups of 2, one if you can avoid that, is the rules. Yet there was a group of people fighting on West Street. Those of you from Sheffield will know where West Street is. If not, it's basically the main road where all the bars, clubs, a couple of stores are. It's where I tend to go before I go out to where I go to the rock club that I go to, Corp. I tend to go for some drinks on West Street and go away, mainly because it's West Street. But there were people fighting outside a pub called the Wick at Both Ends, I believe it was, and it's just like, there was a group of 6 of them, and I'm thinking, this is not how isolation works. You guys shouldn't... You've got bigger things to worry about than whatever you're fighting about in the middle of the street. And it's just crazy. It's like, these are the kind of people that are going to prolong the problems we have with isolation, because they're not following the rules and they're not being responsible people. But then there's always going to be some people who are too simple to understand social distancing, or to understand that it's for their benefit, nobody else's. Realistically, it's for the benefit of themselves and everybody around them. The more the bigger the group of people, I mean, the police will start dispersing, hopefully. But it's like the longer this goes, the longer people ignore the rules, and the more people do these things, the more that it's going to have to be done. So in the end, all they're doing is ruining the way this is going to be for everybody else. I mean, it'd be fine if they were just risking themselves, but they're not. They're risking other people. It's not. It's bigger than them, and they need. And it's like, to ignore that rule and to ignore those distancing policies is. Bottom line is, it's selfish. But let's stray away from that topic, just because otherwise I'm going to go on a rant, and I'm not here to have a rant. Old bubbly. Well, this is one happy crabby boy. I'll tell you a really funny thing. My fiance's really scared of crabs. So I think it's hilarious, because if I would sit her down in front of this, she'd probably be like, "Oh, hell no." Here's the thing: would you rather fight one man-sized crab, or like 5 crab-sized men? It's like the would you rather fight 100 duck-sized? Would you fight a duck-sized, or 100 duck-sized horses, or 1 horse-sized duck? It's like, I don't know. These are not situations I've prepared for in any way in my life. But it threw me off, because I'm thinking, Well, I don't want to fight any animal, to be honest with you. I like animals too much to want to fight them. But it's kind of funny. I like to throw those curveball questions at my friends when they're drunk. It's quite good.
Zul gonna deliver us from the Mad King. You are only getting in the way. Rastakan's reign is over. The age of Zul has begun.
Every time I hear the word Zul, I know it's Zul the Prophet, but all I can think of is there is only Zul. And that's a reference that I don't think that many people are going to get.
Hello, man.
But let's have a look here. Let's just get rid of this crap because I don't need it. I'd rather stockpile the money I'm on. I've not got a lot. I've only got like 8,000 gold. Mainly because I spend it on professions. So mats and stuff for professions.
I serve the king.
Which is fine. It's just
Zandala.
you've got to wait for a return on that profit. What did she... Okay. Did she just slap herself on the ass?
They say you have the heir
I mean-
of the throne?
Whatever floats your boat, I guess, but is it...
Greetings, sir.
I'm confused.
And, ma'am.
I like that these tall guys don't bother... tall and... Sorry, they don't even bother trying to gender you. It's like sir or ma'am.
Not everything in the ocean is
It's like they're just confused by anything that isn't them because they're just like, what? Spices.
Step closer and don't mumble.
Now the brine. The pantry. Oh, okay. Do you mind if I just stand on your
I've
pantry?
seen things that would scare you shellless. Greetings, sir and ma'am.
Clotting powder? Oh.
Step closer and don't mumble.
That is a very dramatic pose to be laid in. Okay. So I'm guessing that didn't work. Although for some reason he had a weapon in his hand for a few seconds.
Greetings, sir and ma'am. Come back with some better stories.
Okay. Place an idol of Razan at Jamil's hut.
Zandala forever.
So I've got to go convince Razan, who's that giant dinosaur lower. Please, go talk to a dinosaur and get it to bring back somebody's soul. I mean, yeah, okay. Go home, Blizzard, you're drunk.
What you want, man?
You have taken what is mine. Release him.
Long time you've been keeping this one from me. Long, long time. I'll be denied no further.
Know your place, lower of graves, or I will put you in one.
Comes a time when we all got to die. Even kings. But I be feeling generous. Take your little friend. I'll be seeing you in good time.
Hello, man.
Restore his spirit to his body. My priests call me back to my temple. Send Rastakan to me when he finds his teeth again.
Okay. That was easier than I anticipated. Convince the dinosaur to make the spooky guy give back the soul. Cool. I'll tell you who, as I say, One Sandy reminds me of a few different characters. Personally, probably because I've got kids. There's Facilier from Princess and the Frog, which is what my toddler enjoys watching. It kind of reminds me of him.
Welcome to Zuldazar.
I can still feel the touch of the other side. My Loa has called me back to the land of the living. There is work to be done. You stand before King Rastakan. Zandala forever. May your folk
Okay.
own
What do
my
you
ship.
ask of the
Then
crown?
we will deal
My
with
life
the
for
usurpers
the
who
throne.
tried to claim my throne.
Speak your business.
So I've got to go to Rastakan's Might. So with the boat there. Looks like it's not, which is his flagship, and it wasn't brought under his orders, so I'm assuming that it's mutiny of some kind, so... I mean, that ship is a cool model.
By Zul's will! The age of Zul has begun!
Yeah, yeah. I guess I'm supposed to... Yeah, I can climb up onto the ship.
Zul has foreseen your death!
Rastakan's might is mine! Taste the bitter wind of defeat!
I'm always tempted to have some music playing on the background of these streams, but I don't know where I stand with the copyright on that. I need to do some research. Oh, Lewis, absolutely I'll be getting Cyberpunk. Of course I will. There's a city to burn after all. I am definitely getting Cyberpunk. It looks good. It looks dope.
I must get closer.
It just looks like a it looks like it's gonna be such a fun game. It's the only game on your list. You see, my list is complicated because, of course, as WoW Shadowlands is due out at the back end of this year. So the next expansion for WoW, which I'm going to be no life in the hell out on stream when it comes out. I also Halo Infinite, because I'm a hopeless fanboy for Halo. It looks like the work that's going into Infinite is going to make it worth the purchase. Looks like they've learnt the lessons at 343. So I'm, but definitely, so on my list so far is Cyberpunk, I need to get Doom, I want to replay The Witcher, and then Halo Infinite, and of course, well, Shadowlands, which I've already pre-ordered. Pre-ordered Shadowlands anyway, but we'll wait and see. I was going to say, well, E3, but then E3's been cancelled, so
Require a target.
yeah, scratch that. We're not, whatever is going to be revealed around the time. So I'm assuming navigational chamber searched. I suppose this isn't the navigational chamber? No, this is a bedroom. But still, I need to find... there's definitely a few games on my list, but mainly I'm wanting to focus on WoW Shadowlands, Cyberpunk, Doom when I get a hold of it. And Halo Infinite I'm definitely going to buy, whether I stream it or find it fun, we'll see, because I did like Halo 5, which is contrary to popular belief, most people didn't, but I did enjoy what they were trying to do. They went for a Halo 2 feeling with it, and they were trying to tell a split story, but it was unevenly split and there wasn't enough Master Chiefs, which again, they've learned the lesson behind that. I hope. We'll see what happens, but it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting year for gaming, especially with no E3. So with no E3 this year, it's going to be strange. Because I mean, the central gaming event of the year isn't happening, so it's going to be something that we have to just see what that looks like going forward.
Zul has foreseen your death.
I mean, I'm expecting announcements and I'm still expecting reveals because, I mean, why not? But still, with no E3, I imagine that I suppose they could do something virtual. Like, there's no specific E3 event, but there could be live from studios or presentations from each studio that would have been at E3. I imagine that's something they'll look into. Because, I mean, E3 is such a central event, especially for the gaming community. I look forward to E3 every year, and it's not happening this year. And obviously, I understand why. It's perfectly reasonable. Given the outbreak, given the awful situation that's sort of been happening.
Zul has foreseen your
But it's, I want to see. Lewis, you've heard about that, yeah. That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping they do. I want there to be an online platform for E3. Even if it's virtual, it's like, I mean, take a leaf out of what BlizzCon did with BlizzCon's virtual tickets. I mean, they didn't have to cancel BlizzCon, but every year they have virtual tickets. So if you can't make the event, you can watch live. And it's like, well, what stops them from doing an online-only platform this year for E3? Where there's a convention centre, maybe not, but, you know, presenting to the masses with virtual tickets. Even if they want to do it free. But it's like BlizzCon this year. If this entire scare isn't over by the end of the year, which we hope it will, but you never know what's going to happen next. It's like BlizzCon. I fully expect Blizzard to do some kind of virtual BlizzCon entirely if it can't be done this year. I think that would probably be fair and reasonable, and I think that the gaming community as a whole would be more understanding and more forgiving of you know, as what's happening at the moment out there, it is much less harsh on the community to, rather than just completely scrap the events, go digital. Make it a spectacle that can be only viewed online. I mean, you know, if like, I'm going to buy a virtual ticket for BlizzCon this year. I didn't last year, but that's because I was busy at the time when BlizzCon was happening. I just wasn't in a situation where I could sit and watch it. But I will be buying a virtual ticket for BlizzCon this year because I love BlizzCon. So if E3 are doing a virtual show, I'll be sure as hell I'm going to live stream that because I just want to see what's coming and what's happening, because we already know what the next gen consoles are going to be. We've had the PlayStation rundown. We've had the Series X reveal. So we know what they're going to be, but I want to see it in action. I want to see more. I want to see the games that are coming out on these. I want to see what they're capable of. I want to see, rather than just a spec rundown, which is great to hear. I mean, I was a little underwhelmed by what the Sony presentation, to be honest. Like, in terms of spec, I was a little underwhelmed. I'm like, it's good, but not innovative, in my opinion. Not that it's a bad console. I'm probably going to end up getting a PlayStation 5, if that's what they call it. I'm definitely going to pick up a new Xbox when I can. Like, they're definitely on my list. It's just, I think that it's going to be an interesting era in gaming, because what we need to see now is we want to, like, it's great to hear all the specs and it's great to hear what's happening, but I want to know what that means in practical terms. So what games are we going to see? What are they going to look like? What are they going to play like? What are going to be the new innovative features? What's going to be the thing that separates this from the previous generation of consoles? What's going to be the big new precedent setting to go forward? What's the benchmark going to be for this generation? What are we going to see? And I'm really interested in that. Just a moment, everyone. I am just going to end one half of the YouTube video, and then we'll resume straight away.